Hello everyone. So welcome to Tea with Ravi, and today we will take a look at the recent updates in Atlassian Ecosystem. So in the last 1 week, a lot has happened, and I really want to talk about those updates. Usually from time to time, I make a video and a podcast about Atlassian updates and all the exciting things that are relevant to people who are involved with Atlassian tools. You could be a Jira user, you could be a Jira administrator, you might be looking for a job. I think it is always good to stay in touch and stay on top of latest and recent exciting things. Now, the first update is about Jira Product Discovery. Now, Jira Product Discovery is something that I have tried a few times in the past, and it is now in beta. It was not really even in beta. It was, I believe, only for a few people, and I mean, not really few people, but I think you had to join like a wish list kind of a thing. But now anyone can give it a try. It is still free, I believe. I'm not really sure about the number of users because on the listing page, when you go to atlassian.com and if you go to the product discovery, it says right now it is free. And the way it works is you need to install it on your Jira instance, or I should say you need to just create a project of type product discovery. Now, I'll be honest with you. I tried product discovery in the past, and I've also tried it recently when it is out of beta or out in beta. No, not out of beta, but it is still in beta. I tried it, but I'm still not convinced 100% on those cases, or especially scenarios where I would use Jira Product Discovery myself or even for my clients. I don't really think I am confident to recommend it to my clients. Now, the way it works is you need to, of course, create a project. And when you create a project of type product discovery, you will get the option to create some ideas. And then, of course, you can work on those ideas. And it is actually very simple. If you go to your Jira instance, if you are, of course, watching this video, you can, of course, give it a try. If you are listening to this on your podcast, then you can try it whenever you have access to your Jira instance. So it is very simple. I'll try to explain. You need to create a project, and when you create a project, you will get this option to, of course, use a template. But instead of using a software development template, you can use this product discovery template under product management. And if you click on the template, you can then select the template, and you can then give your project a name. Let us say you want to call it as a new idea or new great ideas. And this is basically a place where your stakeholders can basically keep track of their wonderful ideas. But good thing about this project is that you have the option to keep it as private, or you can also keep it open for everyone in your Jira instance, and there is also something called as limited. So let me create this as a private project, and then I will take a look at the access, because you can then modify the access. So it will take maybe a couple of seconds or maybe 30 seconds to create this new project. And whenever you have a new project in Jira, of course, you can then configure it. Now, so far it looks good to me, because now I know that Jira Product Discovery can be within my Jira instance, and it is great. Now, before I take a look at the project itself, let me quickly go to the project settings, which is similar to what we normally have. And we have the option to, of course, configure this or move this or update the category of this particular project. So maybe I want to use one of my existing categories. Let us say this is my internal project, which is, of course, one of my category. And you also have the default assignee. So I want to maybe make my project lead, which is in this case me, as the default assignee of all the new ideas. And then, of course, we have the access, where you can give people access to this particular project as a member, so they can take part. they can edit, they can comment, I believe. And also there is something called as a viewer. So this is good. And there is something called as notifications. So we have not a lot of notifications on various events like issue created, issue updated, assignee deleted, so on. It is of course not like your typical Jira notification scheme, but it is like, something there. And I'm not really sure whether there will be some concept of a notification scheme or not. It seems like product discovery is more on the lines of next gen, or I should say team managed projects, which to be honest, I don't really think they are working for. I mean, they are working, I believe, but when you start using team managed projects, you actually end up having some mess because everyone is doing whatever they want to do in their project and there is no consistent way of working. So I think it is okay to have team managed projects, but there should be still some control on how many team managed projects you want. I think it should be for like very specific cases where a team is working in isolation and they don't really want to interact with anyone else, and they want like a super controlled, or not controlled, but super free, flexible project. But overall, if you have multiple teams doing their own thing in their own project, then having some consistency makes sense. At the same time, when you look at the Jira Product Discovery, there is this workflow or this concept of your own process that you can define and configure in your project. And this is, of course, again, similar to team managed projects. It is good to see these workflows so that you can configure these processes. Maybe you want your idea to move from one state to another state. I will take a look at it, in bit more detail, and I'll probably make a video. I will definitely make a video. Good thing is that there is also this automation that you can, use with, it is there within your Jira Product Discovery project. So I'm sure you can automate things if you have to. And also there is this Slack integration, which I believe should be easy to configure. Now, if you look at the project itself, it is, of course, very similar to Jira Work Management or Jira Team Managed based projects. So you have these all ideas where, of course, you have the list of all the ideas that you can create and people can comment on it. They can, of course, take a look at the goal. You can also have the roadmap. And there is, of course, this status of each and every idea. So you can definitely, see that this is very much similar to what we normally have in Jira issues. And there is another view called impact assessment. I believe it is just another view to look at your ideas. And then there is something called as impact versus effort, which I'm not really sure how it will work. I believe there will be some kind of a score that, you can use to understand and to, plan. I mean, not even plan, but to figure out which idea needs to be picked up for delivery. And of course, there is a roadmap, which it is not really like a typical roadmap. It is more about, I believe, some goals that you can create with some scores. There is a plan, and this plan is, it seems like just another view of those roadmap items, but of course with some dates involved. And I am more interested in seeing how these ideas will, when they're selected for delivery, how it will feed to your typical Jira project, because then it will make sense, because when you're working on those ideas, you need to see if a particular idea was selected, where we are. And stakeholders are more interested in understanding that progress. Okay, so this is all about Jira Product Discovery. You can take a look at it. You should be able to create your own project of Jira Product Discovery and play with it. The next update is about templates. So we all know about the templates, right? When you create a new Jira project, you have the option to create a template. And these templates, I believe, are good in majority of cases, because when you have these templates, then your Jira, especially new Jira administrators or people who are trying to look at Jira, they can quickly get an idea about different use cases, like different configurations of Jira based on, of course, maybe you want to follow Scrum or Kanban. I believe these templates are really good for Jira service management based projects, because if you want to do simple incident management problem change, then you have this ITSM based template. but you may want to do something which is like a proper help desk with a lot of processes. So these templates are great to get started, but at the same time, whenever you start using these templates, it can actually create a lot of configurations, unwanted configurations. It is always better to have, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago, it is always better to have standard templates. So always be careful. I mean, you should always spend time in the beginning to understand how people are using these templates. But to get started, to get an idea, I believe these templates will definitely help. The way it works is you can, of course, click on this link. I mean, don't worry about the links. If you're watching this video, you will find the link in the description. If you are listening to the podcast, you will also find a link where you can find all the updates. So you can simply click on the links and go to either Product Discovery or these templates. Now, the way it works is you need to simply select a template, and it will then give you the option to use the template and create a project using that template. It is great, but I would love to see more details about these templates, because if I want to click on the template, before I can start using it, I want to see the configurations which are not really there. It just says, the template name and some details about not even details, like some high level points, but not really details like issue types, workflows, what configurations I will get. But good to see this move from Atlassian. I'm not really sure if people can contribute to these templates. I would also love to see one day that if there is a possibility, if there will be a possibility where we can export our templates or some configurations as a package, because that would really help. Because I may want to create my own set of templates, or I should say some exportable configurations that I can import somewhere, maybe in a different Jira instance. That would be wonderful. The next update is about Jira Service Management Server and Data Center Advisory. So there was this advisory shared by Atlassian. So if you're using Jira Service Management on server and data center, especially version 530, 531, 532, 540, 541, and 550, then you should upgrade your Jira Service Management to either 533, 542, 551, 560, or it is better to just upgrade to the latest version. So this advisory is about some authentication vulnerability. So people were, or if someone wants, some bad people, if they want, they can get access to your Jira Service Management. So you should definitely upgrade. And by the way, on this page where Atlassian has shared these details, you will find all the instructions like how to upgrade. On my channel, I believe I have done one upgrade video, but Jira Service Management is easy to upgrade. It is more about the jar file as compared to doing a full Jira upgrade. But you should upgrade anyways, because you don't really want to miss or skip these advisories from Atlassian. Now, the next update is about, it is not really an update, but it's more about the event which happened last week. So last week there was an event in Berlin. Although I was hoping to go there, but I couldn't. I did attend one Atlassian event in London, ITSM event, that was in December, and it was wonderful. It was my first ever proper Atlassian event. Of course, now I've been to a lot of ACE events, like those local events where people come and they speak. I have spoken at these events many times, but I've never been to any Atlassian summit or any Atlassian team tour, whatever, like these mini summits. But this Atlassian Unleash event was focused on DevOps, and I believe Atlassian is doing these mini summits or these mini events where they have focus on one area. Like the London event was on ITSM, this Unleash was on DevOps, and I believe these events, in a way, because they are focused, in a way they are, I believe they can be a bit more effective because the focus is definitely on just one topic. So you will meet people who are only interested in DevOps. So it can be interesting. I'm interested to see the next event, like a mini event or mini summit. There is, of course, this event happening in Las Vegas, Atlassian Team 23. Most likely I will be there. I'm quite certain I will be there, and I'm hoping to be there. I've never been to the US, so this would be my first ever trip to US. And of course, it is in Las Vegas. So if you are there, you can find me. You know how I look. So, if you see me walking somewhere, feel free to approach and say hi to me. I'm a nice guy. Now, this event, because it has already happened, what I wanted to share is that the videos or on-demand sessions should be available, I believe. So just go to this link, events.atlassian.com/unleash, and try to find these videos. Usually I find whenever I have time, I do watch some of these sessions, especially the keynote and the last session, because they are usually the highlights. The next event is about acquisition. Now, good thing about Atlassian ecosystem is that a lot of people, like small companies, big companies, they have built businesses around Atlassian tools. So I, of course, am a consultant. I'm an Atlassian consultant. I have been able to build my career around Atlassian tools, and I'm doing good. And at the same time, when I look at other companies, smaller companies, and I know I personally know a lot of people, a lot of organizations. I've either worked with them or I've done something with them. It is always good to see these acquisitions, mergers, and people getting funded. So recently, I believe it was like in February, if not last week, definitely in February, Jexo was acquired by AppFire. Now, I know Jexo. I noticed them, I think, earlier last year, because they were making a lot of videos on YouTube and they're quite active. And I know the founders. I've met them a few times. I've made a couple of videos with them. And it is good to see this acquisition. I believe it is probably good for the ecosystem. And I always wonder, think about the mindset of these founders when they start a new company and then they get acquired. It is interesting. Although I don't really think I would ever want to get acquired, or I don't really think I will ever go for the funding. This is, of course, my personal opinion, because this is something that I prefer to do. I'm happy with my own small company and be independent from Atlassian. I'm not a partner, and I can give you my unbiased opinion and feedback, and I want to do things that I believe make sense for me. But at the same time, it is good if you are thinking of starting your career. You know that you have a lot of options. You can be a freelancer. You can be a small company like me. You can also aim to get acquired one day. Maybe if you build apps, we are also building apps, but we are not really planning to sell those apps. It depends, but I'm not really planning. But it is always good to see that these exciting things are happening. It is always motivating for everyone, for existing companies who are involved with Atlassian, or someone who is new or thinking of getting into Atlassian. So if you want to, read this news, you can. I believe AppFire, I think they have done recent, I'm not really sure if they have acquired, I think they have acquired a few companies recently, if I remember correctly, but they already have like more than few apps on the marketplace. So do take a look at this news. This is definitely interesting. Now, every week, of course, I answer questions on the community, and I'm now planning to, just pick one question, one or two questions that are interesting, that I believe could help a lot of people. And of course, I make a video out of it, but I will also share very briefly in this update video about this question, like question of the week kind of a thing. Now, last week, someone asked on the community about time travel in Jira, basically going back in time. So imagine if you have a Kanban board and you want to look at your Kanban board, where you may want to just focus on what was the state of your Kanban board maybe 2 days ago, or maybe 3 days ago, or maybe on a specific day. So there is no way to go back in time for the whole board, but you can definitely use a JQL to figure out and retrieve all the issues that were in a specific status on a specific date. So you can do that, and if you want to learn how to do it, you can watch this video, and you can of course play with it, like the JQL part. It is of course a bit cumbersome, but what you can also do is you can always write your own, or not write your own, but you can always configure your own EasyBI board in case you're using EasyBI, because using EasyBI you can also report historically, like what was the state on a specific date. So this is an interesting question, because a lot of people, they want to see the progress, and they want to do some KPIs around it, like how their team is progressing over the period of time. And also, I want to talk about apart from the question of the week, I also want to talk about this video of the week, because I make videos every day. And last week I made this video about common questions asked by new Jira users, or I should say common complaints when people start using Jira, or they are asked to move to Jira. So this is interesting, because in case you're new to Jira, or in case you're thinking of moving to Jira, or in case you're helping someone move to Jira, you will face a lot of questions. You should definitely face a lot of questions, and this video on common questions asked by new Jira users will definitely, I believe, help you. And that is my plan. I mean, that is something that I always do. Like I need this repository of answers, and which I always have with me, because I have been doing Atlassian consultation for many years now. And whenever people ask me weird questions, or difficult questions, or easy questions, or some stupid questions, I mean, there is no stupid question. I usually know what they are trying to ask, or what is their background, or what they are thinking of. I know the mindset, because I work with people quite a lot when it comes to helping them move to Jira. Because people ask me this question: is Jira going to be difficult to use? I'm using Excel sheet. I'm very happy with Excel sheet. Do I really need to go to Jira? What are the benefits? So you really need to understand these challenges, and how you can potentially help your customers, your clients, or maybe your team members when they have similar questions. So you can watch this video. I'll share the link in the description, or in this link of my post, where you can find all the links. The last thing that I want to talk about is that this week I will be making one app review video. And if you follow me, if you watch my videos, I'm sure you know that I do make app review videos. Although I personally don't really use a lot of apps, but because I'm a consultant, I work with clients. Not each and every client of mine wants to use, let us say, Scriptner. Not each and every client of mine wants to use Tempo or some other app, because the app that they will purchase, or they might purchase, it also depends on the budget. It also depends on a specific use case. Sometimes, like in those 20% of the cases, you really need just one or two apps for doing something very specific. Now, this week I will be making a video and reviewing this app called Smart Issue Templates for Jira. Now, just to give you some background, in Jira, especially on Jira Cloud, there was no way to have some dynamic fields or some predefined template when it comes to creating an issue. But I believe Atlassian recently introduced this UI modification API for Forge apps. And if I remember correctly, if my understanding is correct, this app is built using Atlassian Forge. So this is interesting, because I want to see what they have done using UI modification. And because I'm also building apps, we also are using Forge. I really want to see the capabilities of smart issue templates. So I will be making a video on this, and I will also share my feedback. So this is all for this week's update. I will be making these update videos regularly, because for me as a consultant, I really need to be on top of things. So when I make these videos, when I compile the updates for you guys, I also learn. I also get to know about things that are happening in Atlassian ecosystem. So that is all. That is all for today. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.